Have you ever considered how a natural event can not only shake the ground but also the global economy? In today's video, we'll uncover how the earthquake in Taiwan is sending shockwaves through the global semiconductor industry. Stay with us. Today, we'll delve into the connection between cars and the geopolitics of semiconductors. Are you ready? Taiwan is acknowledged as a cornerstone. This status was achieved through decades of strategic investment, innovation, and technological development. The island accounts for a significant portion of the global chip production, with the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, being the world's largest semiconductor manufacturer. This dominance is not just a testament to Taiwanese technological ingenuity but also reflects the critical importance of these components in a wide array of products, from mobile devices and computers to automobiles and defense systems. Taiwan's supremacy in this sector can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, the geographical concentration of high-tech firms facilitated a unique synergy between research, development, and production, creating a highly efficient technological ecosystem. Moreover, governmental support in the form of favorable policies and investments in education and infrastructure provided a solid foundation for the industry to flourish. TSMC, in particular, revolutionized semiconductor manufacturing with its foundry or custom factory model, allowing chip design companies without manufacturing capabilities to bring their innovations to market. This business model not only democratized semiconductor production but also spurred a wave of chip design innovation, further solidifying Taiwan's central position in the global industry. World's dependence on semiconductors. However, the world's dependence on these semiconductors produced in Taiwan implies a vulnerability to disruptive events on the island, as evidenced by the recent earthquake. This natural disaster not only resulted in tragic loss of life and damage to infrastructure but also forced the temporary shutdown of several semiconductor factories, highlighting the risk of disruptions in the global supply chain. The earthquake's magnitude and location directly impacted production lines, leading to immediate concerns about chip shortages and the subsequent rise in prices of final products. While disaster preparedness measures and rapid recovery protocols are in place, the short-term impact on semiconductor production and supply is undeniable. The news of the earthquake in Taiwan immediately resonated through global financial markets, showcasing the intrinsic connection between natural events and the world economy. The initial indicators of this disturbance were seen in stock exchanges, where shares of technology companies, particularly those heavily reliant on semiconductors, experienced notable volatility. Companies dependent on the semiconductor supply chain for their product manufacturing, such as smartphone, computer, and automobile makers, saw their market values fluctuate in response to uncertainties about the continuity of supply for these essential components. Crisis in global markets. Beyond stock market fluctuations, the reaction from technology companies was of immediate concern. Many issued statements seeking to reassure investors and customers about the potential impacts on their operations. However, despite efforts to minimize consequences, the temporary suspension of operations in Taiwan's semiconductor factories raised substantial concerns about maintaining normal production pace. This interruption in factory operations, even if brief, has the potential to exacerbate the already tight semiconductor supply situation, which has been a challenge for the global tech industry for some time. The temporary halt in semiconductor factory operations not only disrupts current production but also has implications for future production planning, potentially leading to delays in new product launches and price increases for existing products due to supply shortages. This situation underscores the vulnerability of the global supply chain to local disruptions, as the concentration of semiconductor production in Taiwan creates a single point of failure that can have cascading repercussions across various industries and markets. In response to these immediate challenges, some companies have begun to reassess their supply chains and consider diversification strategies, both geographically and in terms of suppliers. The quest for greater resilience has become a central theme, with many companies seeking to reduce their reliance on a single location or supplier for critical components. However, these structural changes in the supply chain are complex and time-consuming to implement, suggesting that the impact of the earthquake in Taiwan will continue to be felt in the short to medium term. As the tech world adjusts to these new realities, the situation highlights the critical importance of the semiconductor industry not just for technology but for the global economy as a whole. The ability to respond and adapt to these challenges will not only be a test for individual companies but for the entire global technological ecosystem. International response. The global reaction to the earthquake in Taiwan and its impact on the semiconductor industry has been multifaceted, reflecting the critical importance of these components in the global economy and national security. Governments worldwide have increasingly recognized semiconductors as critical infrastructure, essential for everything from communication and entertainment to defense and advanced manufacturing. As such, the disruption caused by the earthquake has underscored the urgent need to diversify chip production sources, a move inherently linked to global geopolitics. In response to the crisis, various countries have pursued strategies to lessen their reliance on semiconductors produced in Taiwan. The United States, for instance, has initiated billion-dollar efforts to rejuvenate its semiconductor industry, aiming to repatriate some of the production of these vital components. The European Union has also outlined ambitious plans to boost its share in global semiconductor production, setting long-term self-sufficiency goals. Countries like South Korea and Japan, already significant players in this sector, have been investing in expanding their production capacity and in research and development of cutting-edge technologies. The concentration of semiconductor production in the Asia-Pacific region has been a source of concern for Western countries, given the potential for regional conflicts, political interference, or even economic sanctions that could restrict access to these components. Furthermore, the possibility of China taking aggressive actions towards Taiwan, a feared scenario that could drastically disrupt semiconductor production, has led to a reassessment of political and strategic alliances. The international reaction to the earthquake, therefore, extends beyond immediate supply chain concerns. It touches on broader issues of national security and technological sovereignty, with countries seeking to ensure not just the stability of their economies but also autonomy in relation to fundamental technologies. This scenario has encouraged not only the geographical diversification of semiconductor production but also the development of technological innovations that could reduce dependence on specific components or individual suppliers. Ultimately, the earthquake in Taiwan has served as a catalyst to accelerate changes in the geopolitics of semiconductors. It has reinforced the need for a more strategic and collaborative approach among nations, aiming not just for economic stability but also for global security in an era defined by technology. Experts predict that, while the recovery of operations may be relatively quick due to robust security and contingency protocols already in place, the incident will accelerate significant changes in the sector's future strategies. Among these strategies, production diversification stands out, with increasing investment in manufacturing facilities outside Taiwan, in regions considered geopolitically stable and economically viable. In the long term, this strategy is expected not only to mitigate similar risks but also to stimulate innovation through global competition and collaboration. Global fragility. The earthquake has highlighted the fragility of the global semiconductor supply chain, leading to a reassessment of how chips are produced and distributed worldwide. One of the permanent changes anticipated is the adoption of a more resilient and diversified supply chain model, reducing dependence on a single region or manufacturer. This may include developing manufacturing capabilities in new geographies, such as Southeast Asia, Europe, and North America, as well as investing in more advanced and efficient semiconductor production technologies. Additionally, international collaboration and strategic partnerships between countries and companies could strengthen the long-term stability of the supply chain. The crisis caused by the earthquake in Taiwan has direct implications for consumers worldwide, especially regarding the availability and prices of electronics. the temporary disruption in semiconductor production could lead to delays in the launch of new devices and an increase in the prices of products ranging from smartphones to electric vehicles. This situation underscores the importance of semiconductors in modern daily life and how disruptions in their production can affect various aspects of daily living. The outlook for consumers in the tech market is one of adaptation and innovation. As the semiconductor industry evolves in response to the earthquake and similar challenges, it is likely to see the emergence of more advanced products, manufactured in a more sustainable and resilient manner. For consumers, this could mean not only greater stability in prices and availability of electronics but also access to innovative technologies that drive new functionalities and experiences. Ultimately, the current crisis may serve as a catalyst for positive transformations, both for the industry and for consumers globally. As we have seen, the earthquake in Taiwan is not just a local tragedy but an event with repercussions that affect us all, in various ways. From our reliance on everyday technologies to the complex geopolitical relationships that shape the global economy, everything is interconnected. What happens on a small island can, indeed, shake the world. And as we work together to overcome these challenges, the lesson of our shared vulnerability and the need for global cooperation remains. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.